Okay, greetings Ursulines. Welcome, if anyone ever watches this, welcome to the vlog where I'm going to document the process of, no, not the process, my experience with gun ownership in the USA and learning to use guns and what I've seen that comes around with that. Also some tech stuff, mainly to do with a camera. Right now I'm using a Mimo gimbal, which is really cool and has these fancy tracking features. Welcome to my wife's workshop, where she does amazing work. What that does mean is that sometimes the video is going to cut out randomly when I forget I've got gesture control turned on. I don't normally have my hands in my pockets, but when I point, it's going to stop recording. So there may be some random breaks in this video, and I'm sorry about that. After that short break. So this is going to be history of everything, of my experience with the guns and gun ownership. Most of the experience I've got, so I was in the military like 20 years ago, which might as well be null at this point. So a lot of the experience I've got, or a lot of the knowledge I've got and gained is information from Matrix the movie, a bunch of YouTubers which are excellent, and I'll probably pull out each point and who I may have got that from in videos and links them in the description below. And of course Reddit, the front page of the internet. Big shout out to both the MD Guns subreddit and the Liberal Gun Owners subreddits, which are great resources with very helpful people and on the most part extremely friendly. So without further ado, let's see how I got started. See. So, first thing I learned was from Tactical Girlfriend. Relatively new, although she's also been around for a couple of years on YouTube. Instructional videos is the sort of equipment that you might want to get going. And before any of this is first aid training or first aid experience, mainly triage, and getting yourself a personal first aid kit. So, just because, let's face it, there's a bigger chance that you're going to need one of these than you're actually going to need a gun. So, bob out and get yourself a reasonable tactical field kit. I won't go too much into these, the range kits. This is a Everlit Gen 1 first aid kit. I like it for its size. You know, it's like six inches deep when it's packed out. 8 tool. Open up, very well kit. Added in the chest seal, which doesn't come with it, but worth having as part of the kit yourself. So get this added in there. You've got a good quality tourniquet, which is, out of all of this, probably the most important part. Put that and the chest seal, and throw a torch in there, flashlight for American, and you should be kind of good for what the experience you'll get of a couple of days training will give you. And again, this is the kind of field kit. This isn't a prepper's field. This isn't a prepper's first aid kit. This is might go shoot in the woods field kit, and if something happens, need to get to need to be stabilised and get the emergency services in there. I like this one mainly because it's backing. It's really good, nice big Velcro packing, and then you've got this plate, which has a multitude of different ways you can kind of attach it to things. So attach this to whatever you think it's going to be. Some stickers on the front, good to go. Medic. No, not medic. Throw that back. But you know what I mean. Good first aid kit. Go and get yourself one of those. Next up, you're going to want some ear and eye defence. Okay, these are extremely important parts of your kit that you're always going to use with your gun. So spend some money on these if you want. Let's face it, you probably should. You're going to spend a few $100 at least on a gun. You might as well make sure you're kitted out with some good protection equipment as well. Include some good safety glasses. Are these rated anywhere? These are ANSI followed by a number, so they're all graded for strength. And whenever you're doing ears, always double up. Okay, little inserts. followed by your muffs over the top. These little towels are specifically designed to get lead and other heavy metals off skin. If you're going to a range, ideally it'll have wash facilities there, but again if they don't, it's always worth having these with you just to wipe off your hands before you go any further after you've finished your exercise. Choosing your handgun is probably the most exciting part, and that should obviously involve a lot of research, asking questions, just getting an idea what's out there, understanding some terms to kind of get an idea what you're going for. So what did I do? I pretty much knew I wanted a 9mm. The year is 2022, the month is January. Ammunition is available, but it's still a bit pricey. 9mm was my choice because it's available and the price is pretty good. Okay, yeah, okay. That's why I went with that caliber. Apart from that, brand-wise, I just wanted to stick with the larger brands, recognisable ones, the Smith & Wessons, CZ, Walther, Glock, something like that. At the end of the day, if you're going for a mainstream firearm, they're all really good at this point in time. They've been manufacturing them for years, they know what they're doing, they've got an established company behind them for warranty issues and defects and things like that. Next step is, once you've got an idea of what you're after, the caliber at least, maybe you've got a specific one you're interested in. I don't know where you've got the information from, maybe you shot it before, is to go along to a gun store. I went to one called Cindy's Hot Shots in Glen Burnie in Maryland, and it was great. They gave me a little sales assistant, spent some time with me, didn't feel rushed at all, so a big shout out to them. I think it was, no, it wasn't Chris. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I can't remember the salesman's name who helped me, but really friendly. Went through quite a few, held a few guns. They do have them available there for rent, which is quite cool. So if you need to kind of give it a go and go through a few to rent and try, fantastic. I kind of knew what I was going for. At this point, I don't have enough experience to say if something's good or bad. As long as it feels comfortable in my hand, that pretty much summed up what I was after. So that's where I got what I did, and we should have a look now. Oh yeah, so one other thing. Before, maybe this is a good one to do after you've ordered your gun, but before you received it, is to go get yourself a house safe, a transportation safe, somewhere to keep, depending on your household, depends on what you're going to need. For us, it's just a pair of us. There are no kids. People don't come around wandering around the house or anything like that. But I did want to make sure that the guns were locked and would connect, and they could be locked to somewhere so they can't go wandering off. So that's why I went for this. This box is fantastic. I've got two of these. It has a key, a combination lock, or an RFID tag to open, so you've got 3 ways to open it, depending on the situation we're in, whichever one's better for you to do. It's lockable to something, so it comes with a chain, or like a metal wire. You can loop around something and lock it in there, so at least it'll stop anyone casually just picking something up and walking off with it, which is great for transportation purposes, and it's pretty small. So get yourself something safe. If you've got kids, or if you're planning on kids, teenagers, I probably wouldn't. If you think you've got someone who might be overly curious about your gun collection, this probably isn't the way to go. You want at least a proper 10-character electronic lock, key, combination lock, something like that. Something that nobody can just fiddle around with and eventually get into. There it is. The Walther PDP 5-inch compact. I chose this over the other sizes and the other models. The price point was pretty great, $650. Seemed like the sweet spot for this kind of type of handgun. 5-inch size was chosen because it's slightly easier to manage the recoil and get the drills down on a slightly larger gun, and that's where I'm at right now, is getting the hang of things. So 5-inch perfect. Also, this one is, you know what we're going to do? Now, I've just shot this same scene like 5 times because I can't work out what to say. but each time we do make sure it's clear, and it's clear. I'll put the slide back. This is pre-cut for optics. So a plate comes out, and you go onto the Walther website and you select which one you want, optics plate you want, dependent on the type of optic you're ordering, and they'll send it to you for free. You get the first one for free. I think if you want additional ones, they might charge you for that. I guess that's fair. So here's an optic ready. Has the rail at the front, so you can go with training tools, light, whatever fancy stuff you want on the front. Also the what are these type of optics called? I call them iron sights, but I presume on a pistol they've got another term. I'm not quite sure what it is. These are okay. These are fine for... Can I get that to line up? Yeah, these are fine. Someone new. I am going to switch over to optics though, but I want to get the basic drills down first. So alongside the gun and some real live ammunition, an excellent tool, especially for me as a beginner, are these snap caps. So these are for a beginner and as you advance, an excellent tool. I learned this from Paul Harrell, who's an excellent YouTuber when it comes to firearms, specifically ammunition, and professionalism. I found an excellent watch. I'll drop a link below. Some of my favourite videos of his. Yeah, these are snap caps, which are inert rounds, I guess. Yeah, let's say that. They're basically fake bullets. There's nothing live about them. They're distinctive enough that you can't tell, that you shouldn't be able to easily mistake them for real ones, or vice versa. They've got a little kind of an impact cushion on the back there, so you don't break your internals on the gun when you're dry firing. Dry firing means firing without rounds in there, and it gets you good practice drills for how the gun works. So first thing I did is I've got the gun, 7-day wait. I bought the safe, had all the safety equipment when at home. Go in, pick up the gun, I put it in the safe, I bring it home. I've got the snap caps, I read the manual, and then I go through the dry drills that are expected from the gun. Okay, this little this little thing, some more lighting in here, pushes down on the magazine follower. I really should read that manual again. I need to get some of these words right. This orange bit, which makes it easier to feed the next round in. So, admittedly, the first gaps everywhere. First few rounds are pretty straightforward. Okay, down to the back, down to the back. Yeah, 3 down to the back. 4. And now we're starting to receive some resistance. It makes it a little bit more awkward to load it. Supposed to, it's not that bad. Not going to get down. I've only got 5 of these, so this one's probably going to go in fine. But there's this little tool. Put it over the top, push down. We can literally just slide that in, let go of that, and then just push that back, and you're good. Again, we'll just check. Now there are no open packets of live rounds out in here at all, which is one of the reasons I'm using my wife's workshop. Right now, 0 live ammunition in here. So all I did is just pull that slide back, put that in there. That satisfying click. Really like that. It's a good part of this gun. And you can see in the top now, some bullets in right at the top. And when I push this little lever down, which is on both sides, there's one on both sides for this. I'm going to do it slowly so we can see if we can watch it pick up the bullet. Oh, that bit's not so easy to watch, is it? The spring kind of kicks in at that point. So it picks up the top round off the magazine, puts it into the feed. This trigger is now live. Obviously it was a fake round. And so the Walther PDP trigger has this as a safety. Okay, so you can't pull the trigger from the side, you have to be on to push that little lever there. Fascinating little system. And it's got quite a lot of, well, I don't know if there's a lot or not, but you've got quite a solid kind of pull back, and you can almost hear it. You can definitely feel it when you hit that wall. Pull back. And then a little bit more movement. There it is. A real click. There's no pull through. Now once you get to that click, it's done. I'm going to reset. And what reset does, I'm just going to pull that slide back a little bit. Don't move far at all. And you can hear it click, and that means the trigger's been reset. So it's ready to click again. And we'll go one more time. Pull it back. I can feel the wall there. Then there's a little bit more, and then you're through. Click. Let's do that. Let's do that one more time. There we go. See, it gives us a better lighting. There we go. I'm going to pull back. And we'll discuss my trigger discipline a bit later. Now to eject to pass around through. So normally you'll see when you're firing this thing, you'd pull this top slide, will come all the way back, bullet will come flying out. Then the next one will be automatically fed. This one will roll under something. There we go. And the next round, a little peek in the chamber. So now we know how to put the rounds in and how they pass through. We need to know how to make the gun safe. So this kind of thing is really excellent to practice at home, learn at home before you go to the range. Just makes it a lot less stress at the range for the first time you go in there. Okay, first thing we'll do is release the magazine. Keep a hand beneath it just so it doesn't disappear. And we know they're still around in the chamber. Even if we didn't, we'll still do this same procedure. I'm going to pull back, and that bullet should come out of the top. So let's just go for that. Let's see if I can give you the best view. And also, so I can watch it roll across the floor. I'm going to lock that slide open by pushing up on this. And we can have a good look inside. Make sure nothing there that shouldn't be. Leave that to the back for the moment. While I collect the round. Okay, so I've got to the range. As you asked the guys, first time here, what should I do? He suggested the 5-ring target and 100 rounds. So why not? Because they'll burn through. I'll probably burn them through a bit quicker than expected, but that's fine. It was, again, first experience at the range. I want to get the range experience and a little bit of familiarity with the gun out the way, so I know what to do next time. That's what I did. So 2 sheets of these 5 rings and 100 rounds. So that meant 10 rounds per ring. Mainly all at 7, almost all at 7 yards. One was at 5 yards, just to see what was, if I distance or had anything to do with it, anything at this point in the game. And what I was going for is two magazines, each loaded with each loaded with 5 rounds, just so I could take a break between. Again, you want to learn how to get the magazine out safely, what's the state of the gun, changing magazines, releasing the slide, giving those kind of practice. And there were a couple of ways to return the slide. Who knew? So you can see the first round, first 10 shots were actually pretty good grouping. I think I should get a tape measure. I may regret getting a tape measure. So also you want to do a document of this, okay? You want to record what was your shots, what were you doing, because you'll only get one chance to go back and see quite what you were doing, and write as much detail down of the day as you can. That's partly why I'm doing this video. Okay, so 10 rounds per target, 2 magazines, each of 5 rounds. This one, I'm going to occasionally call one a flyer. I don't have enough experience to say flyer at this point, but let's pretend I do. then we can say the majority of the group there is within like 3 inches, 3.5 inches. Yeah, okay, let's say 4-inch group, let's face it. And we've got a little flyer over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All rounds? No. Most of the rounds in the ring. So that's kind of okay. Down and left. That's where the majority of our group is. And we come over here, number 2. And again, the majority of the group in this 4-inch kind of area. But we picked up a little friend, a couple of little friends here. And I don't think you've got 2 of anything you call them flyers. It's just done a form of trend. But again, I'm down a little bit to the left. So down and left again. Target number 3. Only one off on a journey, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 rounds. We won't look into this too deeply. But again, I'm low pretty consistently. Low and left, maybe if you look at the numbers. Number 4, brings them back to my original pattern of I'm a bit closer to the centre, that's nice. But I'm off low left. Number 5, much tighter now. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all 10 rounds in there. And then if we ignored one, we're down to like a 3-inch spread from the 10 down left. Guess what? Down left, leaving the paper again. Down left, down. This middle target seemed to be something weird, but down and down. Again, this is my first day. It's quite heavy, it's quite exhausting. Stress of the unusual circumstance. Playing around with the 5 yards didn't change much. Everything else is at 7 yards. And it was federal something ammunition. I should write that down. Okay, to summarise all of that. Wanted to get into guns, got myself a Walther PDP 5-inch compact, optic ready, a safe to keep it in, some ear defenders and some ear plugs, always double up, some eye protection, a first aid kit. Let's face it, you can need the first aid kit more regularly than you actually can need a gun. D-wipes, because there is a lot of heavy metal and chemicals involved in using a gun. Went to the range, shot low and left a lot, but got experience as a range, experience as a gun. That was the first time. First 100 rounds are down, more to come. Next show, how the hell do we clean this thing? Thanks for watching.